Hi, folks. This is Mountainman coming to you from parts unknown. I hope everybody's doing well. I'm a little bit late tonight, but I finally got up, and I hope I've got a good signal. I'm in a little bit of a odd spot, but hopefully it's coming through. And I want to do a picture show tonight. You know, that takes a lot more time and work and stuff like that. But here I am. So, once some people come in, I can get an idea what kind of signal I've got. Hopefully, it's a good signal. But on the screen here, we got a lot of topics, but the main ones today, stuff and the which is all a part of the push for a narrative, right? So anyway, we'll go over that and a lot more. How you doing, Nikki? Hi, Sherry. How you doing, Bubba? Nice to see you. Tracy. Lone Wolf, how you doing? Kim. William. David, everybody's rolling in. So did you all get a chance to watch this, what was it, Closing Arguments? And I got a couple of screenshots. I was watching Robert Gavoya's channel, just how juvenile these arguments are. But, the sad thing about it, and on my theme, why we can't stand sometimes when libs come in the chat, because they're just so juvenile in their thinking, not necessarily the individual, but they repeat juvenile things. They repeat lies, they repeat slander, they repeat libel, they repeat things that are not fact. And we want to try to get them to exercise their brains, right? So we won't be puked out when they come in. And everybody can learn a little something. How you doing, Fancy Oak? Outlandish. Melinda. Nice to see you. So anyway, I got a couple of video clips and stuff like that. Go over and have a few laughs, and I put a couple of memes on truth, and then the next word is social. I got to be careful with that. But while people are coming in, I'll pop a few memes up. Hopefully, I don't see anybody saying that I'm breaking up, so that's good. That's good. With a picture show, it takes a little more oomph. A little more oomph to get your signal through, but we'll see about that. Anyway, what you talking about, Willis? Ha 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 ha, Fannie Willis. Boy, she's a mess. Just an absolute mess. She came into the courtroom today, and I said, oh boy, here we go. We're going to have another show. But she kept her yap shut. But here we go. Here's for our liberal friends when they come in. Democrat cries about being yeah, picture show. And I'll talk about what I have on the screen for people that are busy or doing something and can't just sit and stare at the phone. They want to get things done. Let them know I got a picture of a lib crying and pictured Joe and a bobbleheaded Joe, and they're crying. Democrats still cries about being broke, still votes for Democrats. But anyway, this business with this Gemini. Here we go. Babylon B. Google executives promised to do for, but I've got a bunch of pictures and memes concerning that, concerning Gemini, and also their verbal descriptions of people and things. And I got a clip from one of Biden's debates back when he was running against Bernie, and I'll explain how they inculcate into people's psyche that things are supposed to be a certain way when they're really not. And that's what this Gemini is all about. And man, I saw some videos sticking up for Fannie and that she's so brave and all this, and inferring that if you say anything against her that you're racist, right? Well, I ought to get clips. I've watched some creators, young ladies of color, I can say it that way, and they all pretty much say she came across as a what was the term I used that I repeated that young lady said? Said she looked like a frazzled, dried up ghetto rat. So that's not from me. That's from fellow creators, young people who are getting on YouTube and having their voices heard. Not everybody's on the Fanny train, right? But a lot of people are, unfortunately. Here you go. Here, let me get this out of the way. Here's Gemini. Gemini. Here is a portrait of the founding father of America, You see how our founding fathers look like? And let's see. Here's another one. What's this picture of? Sure. They're Vikings. And, they had to apologize. I mean, I'm not picking on them or making things up. This is actual. They had to apologize and take the app down, and they're working on it, right? So it's garbage in, garbage out. We discussed that here. I'll give you another one. Right here. What's this one? Google's woke AI chatbot refuses to create images of white men as popes, founding fathers. So let's see. What's this? Create an image of a pope. Here's an image of a pope. So anyway, not to say there won't be a black pope one day, but the one on the left really has got me wondering. I don't know what that's all about. And I think this was Elon Musk had a little fun with this one right here. I can't believe Gemini made these unfair pictures of Trudeau. I got a couple of things from, there you go, unfair pictures of Trudeau. So, wait a minute, those are real pictures. But people stick with them, but at least the ballots say so. They must have the same systems we have as far as choosing who is leading their country. Now, I found this meme. I was looking for it. Let me get this moved into the middle so I can cover it up when I put a new one in. I was saying, well, I wish I found this meme. If it's not the exact one, it's pretty close. Here's another reason why we can't stand liberals. We really need to find something to piss and moan about and cause trouble, thinking they're smarter than everybody else. But I'm glad I came across that one. It was years ago I saw that one. And when you try to talk to, and for my friends that are not able to look at the screen, you got a bunch of cavemen sitting around a fire. And it says underneath the first liberals. And one of them says, we really need to ban fire before somebody gets hurt. So that's the way they operate. So now we have had some discussions. Let me see who all's in here. Hi, Wild West, about the economy. And we've had, ICC, single songwriter. We've had people come in saying, oh, Biden economy is great. And the stock market's up. And 401ks are up. Well, one thing about 401ks, first of all, is that they're going to nationalize those. if we don't get rid of these activists and communists in the government, we don't drive them out, they're just going to nationalize retirement funds for municipalities, 401ks, stuff like that, just like they did our health insurance and banking system, if they have their way. But as far as that BS about the economy, this is something I got off Telegram. It's got some graphs on there. Oh, wait, this is crude oil production. Remember when I said that area in Texas that is being threatened by the wildfires? One of them I know for sure is called Permian, Permian. There's two other areas mentioned here, Bakken and Eagle Ford. But anyway, crude oil production from those three places has been down to flat over the last 3 months. Those three regions represent how many percent? 64% of total U.S. crude oil production. So if that starts dropping down, we're going to have some problems. But if I can pull it up and find it, the U.S. Department of Labor put out a graph that showed all the price indices for food, housing, everything has gone way up since 2020. And for people to claim that there is no problem with the economics end of this thing, that we're not going to be suffering, that we're not already suffering, is disingenuous. And if I go out of my studio, here we go. Here's a graph right here. Change in prices since January 2020. Groceries and dining out and all items. Look at the rise in percentage. And all items on average 20%, but groceries and dining out going up 25%. That's like paying a quarter more for every dollar. Based on seasonally adjusted consumer price index, source the Labor Department. So the Babylon Bee, they came out with something. Don't you know they're going to come out with something? Here we go. The Price is Rising with Joe Biden instead of The Price is Right. So if you want to watch that little short video, they got their own U-Tizzle channel. Don't forget, they got kicked off of U-Tizzle. And I don't know, they were forced to let them back on somehow or another. So they push the envelope, and I like putting their stuff up because they push the envelope. Like this one here. Ballot drop boxes installed along border wall. You know, make things convenient for everybody. And I'm going to play a video that's got a hint at the end of it. A hint at the end of it. Now, that's what I'm talking about here is discussing where we've had chats about the economy's supposed to be doing so great under Biden and the usual prattle and talking points you get from somebody on the left. Okay? Part of the other prattle that we've had to deal with concerns, for instance, security at the border, that it's not that bad, what's going on in Ukraine, whose side we should be on. And we can readily disprove a lot of that stuff. You know, sometimes not when it comes out of the blue, when it's not on topic. But here's a good example. ABC's been posting this. Attention Macy's shoppers. The department store says it will close 150 locations over the next 3 years and 50 by the end of 2024 amid declining sales. Macy's to close 150 stores. What's the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade? I was wondering, well, where are they going to have the Thanksgiving Day Parade? And then I remembered, oh my gosh, that's right. Thanksgiving is racist. So, I shouldn't even worry about it. Okay, here we got here. Biden. H&M filed for bankruptcy, Outback Steakhouse closing 41 locations, and Rite Aid is closing 200 pharmacies. Everything is fine. So, no, it's not fine. And we can put that up for people to see, right? We can put that up for people to see. Now, the other thing that was talked about out of the blue, was that the supposed, the whistleblower for Biden is supposed to have committed some kind of crime by lying to the FBI or something like that. And that Hannity mentioned him 30 sometimes or something crazy like that toward the end of the broadcast. I think that was confused with pick which one. One of them, Durham, went to took to trial in Alexandria, Virginia, right next to the Magic Kingdom. And he was found not guilty. I don't believe it was this Smirnoff character he was referring to. Smirnoff. And don't forget about Tony Bobulinski, who the media had tucked away and not talked about. They focus all their attention on this Smirnoff character. And if I find out that Hannity was not talking about Smirnoff, he was talking about any number of other people who were involved in the Russia hoax, I'm going to be upset about false statements here in the chats that throw me off base. But anyway, Bobulinski has the highest security clearance. He said so on his interview with Tucker Carlson before Tucker Carlson left Fox News. He said it 2 times. He has an active highest security clearance you can get in the military, and he personally met with James Biden, Joe Biden, and Hunter Biden and had their financial documents on his BlackBerry as they wanted him to be involved in helping launder the money. But anyway, Maria Bartiromo was asking questions about Tony Bobulinski's opening statement. And no, he has not been arrested. No, he has not been discredited. He has got a sterling reputation, high clearance, and a hell of a lot of evidence. And he testified before Congress. And nobody's talking about it. They just want to talk about this little Smirnoff character nobody's ever heard of. So anyway, I'm going to play this where she discusses Tony Bobulinski, and I'm going to let it continue, and she's going to end with something else for you all to think about that they may have in their cards when it comes to causing trouble. Okay? But let me go ahead and play this for Maria, and then we'll talk about it.
To house them. And then there's the corruption in plain sight, alleged corruption. Let's talk about that. Former Hunter Biden associate Tony Bobulinski appeared before one of your committees, the House Judiciary, as well as the Oversight Committee yesterday. He told lawmakers that, in fact, Joe Biden is, quote unquote, the big guy. Of course, the big guy is referenced in Hunter Biden's foreign business deals, saying the big guy will hold 10% of whatever we're making here. Bobulinski says this is in his opening statement. This is his opening statement. It is clear to me that Joe Biden was the brand being sold by the family. Joe Biden was more than a participant and beneficiary of his family's business. He was an enabler, despite being buffered by a complex scheme to maintain plausible deniability. Congressman, what did you walk away from yesterday with the Bobulinski testimony?
Well, it was very damning testimony, and it really solidifies all of the evidence that has been compiled by Chairman Comer and Chairman Jordan over the course of these many months. The Bidens operated a pay-to-play scheme where the members of the family were enriched by access to the big guy. Bribery statutes are clear that bribery of a family member constitutes bribery of the government official. So the Biden family benefited Joe Biden just as it benefited his family members as well. And bribery is one of those high crimes that is listed as an impeachable offense. And we're going to continue to follow those facts where they lead.
You think you've got a smoking gun here that Joe Biden was involved?
I believe that the bank records combined with the testimony are overwhelming.
Okay. Congressman, real quick before you go, you're on the Appropriations Committee. Are you going to get these appropriation bills done by March 1st and March 8th, or will we see a government shutdown?
We are working, the House and the Senate are working, given the cap agreement of the Speaker and the Majority Leader, to write the bills to those levels. We're hoping that we get them done. But as always, the Senate moves a little more slowly than the House, and so it may be that another few weeks are necessary to get the job done.
So we might have a government shutdown then?
I stopped it right there. Of course, they did that bill, and there wasn't a government shutdown, but just remember that. Remember that. Imagine, if you will, a world where they drum up more charges, or they raid Donald Trump's home again, or they do some kind of shotgun trial real fast and find him guilty and put him in jail, and the government shuts down because the Republicans won't play ball and be good Americans. Here, let me show you an example of when they think we're not good Americans. But imagine those things I just said. Can you see a canceled election then? And everybody says, oh, you're crazy. They'll never put Trump in jail. Oh, they won't never shut the government down. Oh, how about it? I'd have sounded crazy if I'd have said in 2018 and beginning of 2019 that the whole country's going to shut down and all the terrible things that happened, you know. But anyway, here's the way they act. This is supposedly news reporting. This is a short from NSNBC or whatever the hell the name of it is. And they're talking about the border, quote, deal. Now, they don't mention that the border deal had in it an impeachment trap for Trump or a future president if they tried to deport the millions that are in here illegally, that they could possibly be impeached. They don't mention that that was in the border deal. They don't mention that there was 5,000 on average a month to be allowed to come in after the border deal was approved. That they don't get into facts like that. Listen to the kind of stuff that they report on in a short that hundreds of thousands of people see.
Seems to be there's almost maybe nothing they wouldn't do for Donald Trump.
They basically look pathetic. Yeah. I mean, they are embarrassed. Their dignity is looking at a moment, they did the right thing. And then they showed they had no spine because they're so desperate to stay in Congress. Is it that great? I mean, this is, it's sad and pathetic, and it's an addiction to Donald Trump by the core of the Republican Party, including people who at moments we have all applauded for standing up to it. And they just couldn't stay firm. That's what's sad.
That was when they couldn't get the border deal passed and they were trying to blame it all on Trump. The only things they report are insults, the worst pictures they can find of Donald Trump, and accusations of being spineless. So, yeah, you can see it getting drummed up to the point where if there's a border, if there is a budget issue, that, hey, it's gonna come back. It's gonna come back around September, I believe, with the budget, because they keep passing continuing resolutions. And I'm just saying that's in their quiver. And don't be stunned, shocked, or afraid of it. Expect it. Expect that, and expect the unexpected. Because remember, folks, most of us in these chats were old school. If the phones go down, we'll be okay. Okay. We'll be okay. We've been there. We've done that. It's these young people that are going to be freaking out. Hi, Ivan. How you doing? Angela, how you doing? Jersey Joe. Andrew, nice to see you. I hope Nikki and where's Donna? The birthday girls. I don't see. Oh, hi, Ian. How you doing? Miss Spindersue, how you doing? Julie said shut it down. So outlandish. Yeah, hit the thumbs up. Nikki said boom, boom, hit the thumbs up. But, yeah, we're being suppressed. I mean, we got about 50% of the people in the chats than usual. But, hey, that's what I get for posting my video on Truth and Then Social, right? The rhythm spots it. Here you go. I like this one. It's cheaper to deport than support. It's going to be worse than that. We're not only just going to be supporting them. They're going to be running the show. Hi, Jackie. How you doing? Whenever you see that little bee there, that's a joke. A Babylon bee. But it's a tongue-in-cheek joke. Am I going to cover the Independence, Missouri? What's good to hear, Ivan? I'm glad you're doing great, buddy. Am I going to cover the Independence, Missouri? I need a little more information. Here we go. Here's something else. The people who force you to get VAXED to keep your job let in 17 million people who didn't have that done to them, and they're unemployed. Ha ha ha, put that in your quiver. So anyway, here's one I had from last week or earlier in the week. Did you all hear a couple things? After this hearing with Fani Willis's case, the judge said he's going to take 2 weeks to figure out what to do or how to do it. I think he's already made up his mind. I would hope that he would go with what was laid out very succinctly. Fraud upon the court, a lot of pejorious statements, a lot of shenanigans going on. But it came out right towards the end that a waiter got a hold of Miss Merchant, one of the defense attorneys who are taking it to Fannie Willis, and said, well, Nathan Wade claimed he never talked to Terrence, didn't talk to Terrence for about 2 years. And I'm here to tell you that about 5 weeks ago, I waited on them. I waited on them at a restaurant. They were having lunch at the same table, talking together. And I just want to let you all know that they're fibbing about that too. And it was Nathan, Terrence Bradley, and one of their attorneys named Chopra. And one of Trump's attorneys, or the defense attorneys, earlier in the day was talking about filings that were made that supported pejorious statements or calling Miss Merchant, I think her name is Anna, that she was a liar, okay? You know, things that are very unbecoming for especially prosecutors, people with law licenses to do. And he said there were 10 signatures from that office, from Fannie Willis's office, on those documents. In other words, these attorneys were suborning perjury. That's what I gathered from it as a layman. So anyway, the thing that made me put this picture up, Dopey there on the screen, what's his name? That so-called comedian, was who came up with that story about the waiter that can prove that Nathan was lying again about his interactions with Terrence. He told that got that information somehow. I think Miss Merchant got it to Megyn Kelly. Okay, so Megyn Kelly's going to break that story. And that made me think about something else Megyn Kelly said about Jeffrey E. Okay, Jeffrey Epstein. Was that we may be hearing from him in the future, right? Then I was talking yesterday about this Judge Kaplan who was involved with the Jeffrey E. situation and Prince Andrew and all that. And Mr. Kimmel was being tied in with all that shenanigans. But anyway, don't you know that he comes out with Jimmy Kimmel hints at retiring from talk show. I think it's my final contract. Jimmy Kimmel hinted that he might be ready to retire from hosting his talk show. That is at the end of his current contract. I'm sure that's going to be the case, Jimmy. But anyway, like I said, it's like a pot that's boiling, and there's all these ingredients in the pot being tossed around. But when it gets like that, that is when the media is at their best, getting people confused and looking at other things, looking the other way. But hey, we'll try to keep it on point as much as possible. And as far as libs go, they're worried about defending Fannie Willis, right? I'll just check the chats here. Hi, the dude. How you doing? Diane, how you doing? Let's see. Pappy Two Bears. Nice to see you. Seeing if I missed anything. What was the oh, okay. Homeowner owed $28K. Whoa, wait a minute. My chats are jumping around. It's hard to keep up with it. $28,000 in property taxes. Oh, my word. I didn't know about that. Well, that's what happens when you create a system that is not where, somebody pays a punishment fine or a slap on the wrist fine. When you create a system that is, by its very nature, confiscatory, and you get down to actually taking someone's home and hearth from them. Of course, there's no excuse for doing what he did. I don't know much about it other than what you said, Andrew. But when people lose their home and hearth, or face being on the street, or something like that, over subjective usury interest penalties, and that there's no way out of, that should be illegal. But now, what I was saying about these lefties, they talk about Fani Willis. Oh, she's being treated poorly. Well, if she lied, if she misled the court, if she misled the people, okay, people can say all it was shrimp and gray goose and a couple of 10 trips to the islands or wherever the hell they went. Anyway, they want to minimize all that, whatever, but we have to maintain standards and behaviors and the reputation of our system, as battered as it is. But the thing is, there was such a strong case for prosecuting Trump, just get you another person, right? Why can't Fani just step aside and say, okay, I want to maintain the dignity of the court. So, since this is such a slam dunk case, such a important to the nation, I will let someone else take the lead. I'll tell you why they won't. Because nobody's stupid enough to do it. Okay? They're puppets. They're ignorant puppets. Right? The old man had the affiliations with Black Panthers, radical communist 60s ideology. He raised his daughter with the same kind of garbage. He wanted to go over live in South Africa after it fell to a communist regime. But they wouldn't even have him. So you've got this operative that's prime for doing something like this to a former president. Okay. And the 70, 80 million people that supported him be damned, right? That's why they can't get somebody else, because nobody else is stupid enough to do it. That's right, Angela. She's looking at jail time. There's no doubt about it. And she's not the only one. So to the liberals, I say, why worry about Fani? Just get, it's an obvious, easy case, historic case. Just where's the next person in line? Well, I'll tell you where. Nowhere, because there's nobody that dumb. And instead of bashing Trump, that's another question. Why don't you post what you love about the Democrat Party? Why does it always have to be Nobody ever raised himself up by tearing others down. So, get with it, guys. Tell us what's so great. And here's a picture I meant to put up. Just a reminder. Ron DeSantis has signed bill into law allowing the release of Jeffrey Epstein's grand jury documents from the 2006 investigation. What? What do you mean the 2006 investigation? Oh, yeah, the 2006 investigation, way before Donald Trump ever got into the picture, where he ended up having his labor secretary in a cabinet position step down once it was found out that they gave Jeffrey Epstein an unlawful plea deal, sweetheart plea deal that was not legal. And if it wasn't for Donald Trump taking action, Jeffrey Epstein would still be free to this day, along with, you see there, Miss Maxwell in the picture also. She'd be free to this day too. So there were people behind that deal, people behind it. And we're going to find out more about it. Here's a nice little thing from Babylon Bee. Like I said, whenever you see that yellow bee, it's from the Babylon Bee. To Satan's battle plans. Family makes it to church. There you go. One smack upside the head at a time. That's how we'll handle him. You know, I got this screenshot here. I don't know if you all, and I can read it out to those who can't watch right now. I didn't get a chance to research this judge, but somebody put this up. And I said, well, I'm going to get a screenshot of that. Man, if worse comes worse, I can come back to my video and refresh my memory. Plus, I'll probably post it on Truth Social also. I'm about the 41-minute mark. Biden was not duly elected. This is Judge Michael Erdos. Is that right? My pronunciation? Irregularities in presidential election called into question the integrity of the election and whether now President Joseph Biden had been duly elected. So I might have to research that a little bit. But, hey, you know, it's verifiable whether or not that was said. He said that. So just let people know there is an undercurrent going on right now in agreement with our position that we've held for years. Here we go. This is a good one, too. So when Trump takes out a loan and pays it back with interest, it's a crime. But when you take out a student loan and don't pay it back, then Biden forgives the loan, steals the money from the taxpayers. Wait a minute. Where is it? To pay it back, it's not a crime. I don't know what I'm doing on the screen. Single songwriter says Friday, time to click the like symbol. I'd be glad you did. All right. Oh yeah, I'm Babylon Bee's funny, Angela. I put up a lot of their stuff. Them and Patricia Dixon, I put up stuff from her too. Let me see if I got anything like that. Oh, here we go. Here we go with Alvin Bragg. This is MSNBC. Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg is seeking head of the New York criminal, blah, blah, blah. Well, hey, there's so many opportunities, and depending on their level of desperation, for them to try to put Mr. T in jail. Okay? And then, like I said, September, right before the election, you know, September, October, November, if they get into another budget showdown, they get in a situation where Biden has to step aside, and they got to there's chaos, there's accusations of another insurrection or some kind of crazy stuff. Just get ready for the crazy stuff. But what have they not? What part of the Bill of Rights? They've already, the Sixth Amendment. Well, the First Amendment is freedom of speech, right? They're after him on that. The Fourth Amendment, the Eighth Amendment, Trump was talking about yesterday or day before yesterday, was the excessive fines. And the Fifth Amendment, at least That's the first, fourth, fifth, sixth, eighth. I got to make a list. How many? Just about every amendment you could find in the Bill of Rights. That's the other thing about liberals. They don't even know the basics of the Constitution. What's the Bill of Rights? Well, I'll wait till one of them gets in, and don't Google it. Don't goggle it when they get in, because it's just stuff you should have learned in the 8th grade. They don't know it. That's what's aggravating about them. Like this here, when you bring up a real world issue in front of a group of zombies, you got a bunch of chicks standing around with red Solo cups looking at you like you stepped in some cat poop or something. Ha ha ha. Now, Mitch McConnell resigned. Here you go. Babylon be again. Mitch McConnell. Breaking. Ukraine to lose top Republican Senate seat. So they do little hard-hitting things that come right out. Now, this is something Mr. T posted right here. Mr. T posted this. Just what I said yesterday. He said, we are at WAR. So I think, Mr. T would not have posted this if he didn't like it. And you know what else he said on Hannity last night after I broadcast? I was talking about potential VP people. And I said Vivek was too young. And he really didn't have the grounding of the experience. I said the same thing about Chrissy Noem. I said the same thing, as much as I like him, about Mark Robinson, that he needed to be in a governing position, an executive, chief executive of a state for a while before he could be president. And I said that they called... made fun of the Texas governor here, called him Hot Wheels, And I said he would make a good VP. Well, that's exactly what Trump said. He was on the short list, of VPs. So I'm going to chalk that one up for Mountainman, on the Mountainman side. Chalk that up. Trump says Biden invasion has sparked, quote, war at the border. Ex-president praises agents dealing with military-aged migrants from the Congo. And jails saying Joe will never say name of red-rummed jogger Laken Riley in the Wild Eagle Pass speech. So... you can read the rest down there. But like I said, Trump wouldn't have posted this on his own page if he didn't concur with everything there. And even in the media in the East, Russian, Slavic medias, they were focusing on the fact that Biden was down there and he was ignored. Here we go. Charlie Kirk. Massive breaking. The University of Florida has fired all DEI staff. Conservatives are finally fighting back. Every red state must follow suit as soon as humanly possible. This is the way. The alligator breaking. University of Florida, all staff positions related to diversity, equity, and inclusion. Effective immediately. They're fired. Effective immediately. Speaking of which, here's what I was talking about last night. Patricia Dixon put this up. Former employees reveal Fannie Willis extreme DEI training, forced to associate white with bad. Judges ranked on skin color. And there's videos out about it where they show the stuff. Robert Gavoya's got one of them out if you want to watch it. And Doug in Exile, those are channels that I do recommend. Okay. So let me see what this is. See if I get this DEI stuff out of the way. Oh, just in Venezuela. This is Wall Street Silver. Venezuela stops accepting deportation flights from the United States. They literally don't want their own citizens back in the country. They're emptying their jails, sending gang members to the USA, and refusing any returns. Like Trump said, they are not sending their best. No, I would say they're not. Now this here, do you all believe this? Let me see what's going on in the chats. I want to ask y'all if you believe this. I talked about this last week, and ABC News put this out. On Thursday evening, a private U.S. lunar lander is set to touch down last Thursday. Odysseus is seeking to become the first U.S. spacecraft to land on the moon since Apollo 17 in 1972. Intuitive Machines' entry is the latest in a series of landing attempts by countries and private entities looking to explore the moon and, if possible, capitalize on it. Japan scored a lunar landing last month, joining earlier triumphs by Russia, U.S., China, and India. Odysseus lander will attempt historic moon landing Thursday evening. Okay. Well, I didn't hear all the big news. I heard little scattered reports about Russia, China, and India. They all went to the moon? So here's the follow-up. Historic landing. Well, if everybody else is doing it. But anyway, historic landing. Odysseus, a private lunar lander, has successfully landed on the moon. This is the first time since NASA's famed Apollo moonwalkers. So they say they made it. And there's a picture of the lander. So do you guys buy that? I'm just curious. Because I haven't heard about India and China and all that other hoop-de-doo, Russia, ever landing on the moon. Yeah, use a 4 for an A, Andrew, when you use that R-A-C. That's why I spell it out. I don't say that word because the rhythm picks it up. And your comment will probably be removed when it has a word like that. And I can't help it. It's just the way Goggle is. So they're saying they couldn't broadcast. Single songwriter said it's supposed to have landed, but they lost contact with it. Yeah, it looks like a piece of junk. Looks like something kids put together in a junkyard to play in. Hi, Redhausen. No, I don't buy it myself. I don't buy it. Oh, here we go. This was just a few hours ago. The Manhattan DA just dropped all charges. Really? Against Joan Boada, 22, migrant who flipped the bird at photographers following his involvement in a gang attack on the New York Police Department. No consequences. The Manhattan DA, that's interesting. What are they involved in? Huh. Trump, I think. Something about I don't know. You know what they're involved in. But anyway, here we go. Alvin Bragg. Here's the lady I was talking about. Said that was bragging how Letitia James dared Alvin Bragg to charge Mr. T. All right, I'll play it for you.
Dared, absolutely dared the district attorney in New York, Alvin Bragg, to go forward with a prosecution, which he had declined to do. And so she didn't get it all. She got so much of it all. She is definitely going to be someone who can celebrate tonight.
Yeah, she's another one that's going to be looking at jail time. But dared Alvin Bragg. She dared him, and he didn't want to do it. That's a drama I think that's going to play out. I know it's going to play out. And we'll see where Alvin Bragg's coming from. Is he being menaced? Is he having his arm twisted beyond being dared? Okay? Kind of like Terrence in Georgia. But anyway, here, let's hear something from about Miss Letitia James.
Speaking of corrupt, the Attorney General of New York, who reportedly is worth $15 million despite making less. She immediately congratulated herself after the ruling.
For years, Donald Trump engaged in deceptive business practices and tremendous fraud. Donald Trump falsely, knowingly, inflated his net worth by billions of dollars to unjustly enrich himself, his family, and to cheat the system. Donald Trump may have authored the art of the deal, but he perfected the art of the steal.
Sounds like she is the one that inflated her income and cheated the system. What a shame. The swamp need to be drained.
I heard she was worth $20 million, but they're saying $15 million. I don't know. We'll see. Let's see. Yeah, I heard about what happened to that mother and others. You know, one got kidnapped. She mother of three, and she's no longer with us. I've heard quite a few. I mean, Trump put this out. Let me see if I can get the right video. Yeah, this right here. That America's not safe. Okay? Not only just from the migrant situation. It's a big part of it. But he said this country's having a spiritual problem. A spiritual problem. That's very important. But anyway, this is another video that Mr. T put out. Hopefully the volume will be good on it.
Following some breaking news out of Athens, Georgia.
2 colleges have canceled classes today as police look for a murderer.
Dean's List nursing student.
Police arrested 26-year-old Jose Antonio Ibarra.
Ibarra crossed into Texas illegally back in September of 2022, then was released into the United States on parole.
We're confident this border is secure.
We have a secure border. We agree that the border is secure.
And we have a process in place to manage migrants at the border.
The border is closed. The border is secure.
We have taken unprecedented action.
Look, the border is not open. Fox News can now confirm that Jose Antonio Ibarra was busted last year in New York City. But ICE didn't even have time to put in a detainer on him because, hey, he was already back out on the streets.
Yeah. And Citizens Free Press put this little reminder out right here. Remember this debate with Bernie Sanders? Biden said exactly what he was going to do. They can try to run that business of him being demented and a harmless old man all they want. But just listen to everything he says during this debate prior to him being elected.
Deal with securing the border by national technical means. All the bad things are coming through ports of entry right now. We don't need a wall. And by the way, I would immediately, as president, surge to the border. I would end this notion for the first time in history that people seeking asylum have to be in squalor on the other side of the river and in a desperate situation. They should be able to come to the United States and have a judgment made as whether or not they qualify. I would also surge to the border immigration judges to make decisions immediately, and no one would be put in jail while waiting for their hearing.
Should undocumented immigrants arrested by local police be turned over to immigration officials?
No. In the first 100 days of my administration, no one will be deported at all. From that point on, the only deportations that will take place are commissions of felonies in the United States of America.
So to be clear, only felons get deported and everyone else gets to stay?
Yes.
You all heard it. And that's this video, believe it or not, it's got another brainwashing psyop embedded in it. What is it? A presidential debate, okay, hosted by CNN, and you have somebody nobody's ever heard of. Is that what you wish to do, President Joe Biden? No one who come from across the border get deported? That we're all supposed to get used to that? I mean, that's just 2 clicks away from no speaky, okay, as far as I'm concerned. So you got a presidential debate that presumably a majority of Americans will be watching. You put some unknown in there with an extremely heavy accent. Okay, I'm calling it. I'm saying it. It's part of normalizing, okay? Normalizing. But anyway, what's this right here? I can't even remember. Biden giving a short bibble babble about something.
FEMA's provided Texas alone because if you fly over these areas that are burned to the ground, you'll see in the midst of 20 homes that are just totally destroyed. Since I took office, FEMA's provided Texas.
Did you catch that? I see what you all are talking about in the chats. But did you catch what he said in the middle of that sentence? I'll play it again.
FEMA's provided Texas alone because if you fly over these areas that are burned to the ground, you'll see in the midst of 20 homes that are just. And anyway, since I took office, FEMA's provided Texas.
One home sitting there had the right roof on it. He could have been talking about tin roof instead of asphalt shingles. I don't know. But it's funny, I pulled that up right when y'all were talking about red roofs, blue roofs, do. But anyway, that's what he said. That's what he said. We got a little clip of it. So anyway, you know, now you know. Let me see what else we got here. I got Jonathan Turley. What was he talking about? I might have to play that. I can't remember. How you doing, Jax? Nice to see you. Oh, here Patricia Dixon put this out too. And you might as well expose them. Laken Riley, Red Rum. Athens sheriff oppose turning criminal illegal aliens over to ICE for deportation. So everybody in Athens, Georgia, take a good look at your sheriff and make sure that when election time comes around, he gets his rear end tossed out. Okay? We don't forgive. We don't forget. Enough of that. We've been forgiving and forgetting enough. Travis says, newly released documents show that Laken Riley attempted to call police during her attack. Police are refusing to release the recording of the call. No authorities traced the call to find her. Police didn't begin looking until after a friend reported her missing. The mayor gave a press conference blaming Donald Trump for this. Who is insane enough to vote for these people? See, liberals, that's why nobody likes you. That's why people can't stand you, on top of what is happening to little ones in schools, okay? On top of that, I tell you, when you spend a lot of time in a hospital or in a medical setting, you get a nurse that's well trained with a good heart, and you know how valuable that is. And we lost a good one. We lost a good one in a horrible, avoidable way. Alive by illegal aliens as a result of Biden's open border policies, allowing criminals onto our streets. No protests, no marches, no national outrage, no media coverage. Kayla Hamilton, Elizabeth Medina, Laken Riley, say their names. And Fat Alvin Bragg, he got turned down. I don't know if I can find that article. I can tell you the gist of it. He got turned down requesting the return of a alien to his state by a DA, I believe it was in Arizona. They said, no, we're not sending him back to you because we don't trust you. We don't trust that you're going to do the right thing. And they're not extraditing him. And they're all, blah. Oh, that's a common courtesy to extradite. Well, not when you all let people walk. Okay? You're not giving the American people any courtesy. Here's a meme about how things work. Elon Musk put this one out. Elon Musk, where's Sherlock Holmes when you need him? And there's a meme of Hunter with his bare rear end hanging out and a scarf on, standing next to an FBI agent. See anything? Nope, not yet, the FBI agent says, looking at a wall full of evidence. So we got a skewed justice system. I'm trying to find where that DA told Alvin Bragg to stick it as far as sending a alien back to them. Anyway. Oh, gosh, I don't want to get into that DEI stuff. Here you go, folks. Just remember this. Whenever I'm feeling down, I just remind myself that $1 trillion worth of propaganda didn't work on me. That's the way you keep it in your mind, folks. Yeah, please hit the like button. The notifications are being suppressed. The videos aren't getting out. That was starting yesterday after I posted something on, or day before yesterday, after I put something on Truth and then Social. I have been wet blanketed. But anyway, folks, I'm going to call it a night. I appreciate everybody tuning in. I got a video here I'm going to go out on, which is a blast from the past. Let me make sure I played my videos. I played Letitia. Yeah, I played Creepy Joe. All right, folks. And I will be broadcasting, unless something big happens, I'm not going to broadcast till Sunday or Monday. So if you're not subscribed, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when I go live. And I'm going to go out on this blast from the past. When Newt Gingrich was the Speaker of the House, and Chris Farley came and did a little funny thing. Maybe everything Dan Scavino put this short clip up. Dan Scavino put the short clip up yesterday. Is this what we're probably may perhaps going to be looking at in the future. I don't know. You know how Dan Scavino is. But anyway, you all have a great night. I'll play this clip now. But for me, this is Mountainman, over and out.
Okay, first up, H.R. 765, which would cut taxes for the middle class, lower the deficit, and at the same time, all in favor. I can't hear you. All right. Also, a motion that tax cut bill doesn't have to go through Senate. All in favor? All right. All opposed? You know what? I don't care. You don't get to vote. All right, let's keep moving. We got 9 minutes left. H.R. 433, which would make Senator Mark Hatfield officially a Democrat. All in favor? All right. H.R. 963, motion that from now on all Democrats are officially... Okay, let's go. We're burning daylight. Okay, H.R. 832 to keep reporters away from my mother. What do you say? How about even though he had nothing to do with it, we take credit for ending the baseball strike, huh?